Okay, so welcome back to the community track of the SFSCON 2023. Our next speaker is Roberto Foglietta. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Beyond Google and Apple, Duopoly is a huge topic. I wrote a lot of things. You don't have to read it immediately. Follow my talk, and then you can read it later. There is a link to download the presentation. What it remains if you remove Google and Apple on your choice for smartphone is about 1% of the market. Technically speaking, it's nothing. People at the moment are concerned about privacy, less concerned about security. But unfortunately, security is more important than privacy. Because without security, you cannot have a privacy as well. It's even worse. Because privacy is about who manages your data and how. In some way, there is a legislation that norms the activities. But without the security, you have no any guarantee about what data is going out of your phone. Obviously, there are different levels: freedom, security, privacy. In my opinion, it's not possible to enforce security in a system if you can inspect the source code. Unfortunately, with the smartphone, the code is not the only part that should be inspected in a perfect world. So this is the reason because someone started a campaign about open hardware, but it's a long track to reach a level in which we know what the hardware is doing in real. I can give you just one glimpse. Some unconnected offline hardware devices can be put out of order by remote. And this is a matter of national security. So if you think that your hardware is safe because it is unconnected, because there is no hardware that can connect it to any network, you're wrong. That hardware can be switched off or put in condition to not work at all. On this track, it was very long. We start just the first step. We face a huge challenge because open hardware is not like software in which everyone that knows how to code can start a project. With open hardware, it's need a lot of money, a lot of time, just to begin. And the reason is you need to produce real things which has inside a very, very microscopic technology. So you cannot do it in your garage. What you can do in your garage is 1950, 1940 radio. Nothing more than that. Well, probably something more, but usually this is the limit. And here, I'm showing you in image how complicated is a smartphone in terms of hardware. And this information comes from one of the most, I can say, advanced hardware vendor integrator. This is a Apple iPhone 15. There is a lot of pieces from different companies with very sophisticated technology. when you look at this picture, the first thing I thought, and we thought, that we don't have even a Apple, a control about what is going over there. It's very difficult to have a complete, granted idea of what is really working over there. Everything can be embedded inside, and we don't know. Oh, sorry. Okay. And here. One of the most interesting idea was if we put a backdoor in the system, good guys can control the bad guys. First of all, the histories teach us that good guys and bad guys are not so, can say, absolute terms, are very relative. Who has the power is the good guy, and he has the bad. So put a backdoor was an idea that others cannot develop a technology and knowledge to open that door. Unfortunately, this is not true anymore, especially because the real bad guys, the primes, developed a business, not anymore an egocentric, black hat hacker alone to try to challenge the system like a kamikaze. No, now we face a world in which crime is very well funded, very well organized, plenty of skilled people, especially because in Europe and in USA, IT, information technology people are underpaid, sometimes very underpaid, compared to 20 years ago. So technology is much more, I can say, complex or complicated as you prefer. And on the other side, the people who work on this are less trustworthy toward the system, because the system trying to push them on the lower level of society. And this, it depends on human resource model. If you are a resource, the company suck from you as much as possible. You are a cost, not an investment, not a capital gain. And the outcome is this. And this has a very little to do with technology, if you think about this. Has a lot to do about business, society, and awareness. People do not know, and this is the biggest problem. On that first, we say that apart Google and Apple, we have 1% of the market that is outside this duopoly. And it's moved in different ways. Fair trade and sustainability is about, I can say, you know, the name. Privacy and de-Googleization. De-Googleization is a woke trend. And I will explain this later, but in very few words. Are you sure that a small company is more trustworthy than a big company about managing your data? It's not so immediate. You say, yes, but if I can manage to put some strong cryptography on my own cloud, well, your own cloud does not exist. It's somebody else's computing. And in the next slides, we will face these other dimensions. So it's not immediately, it's just like I say, a trend. I like black-red color. I don't like Google. Google is a trustworthy company? Maybe, maybe not. Everyone can decide. But for sure, without Google, the smartphone experience is dramatically worse. Whatever you may think, try to remove all the service and Google layer from your smartphone, and you realize why Google win completely that market, even compared to Apple. And then no military, high security. There are other systems that are focused on security as much as they can, at least software level. And one of these is the most known Ubuntu Touch port, because I choose this because there is Ubuntu behind, one of the most organized company in Linux distribution. As you can see later, this is just the peak of the iceberg, because the firmware, which is all the code that run on the hardware, not on the GPU, is 2 times more compared to Linux systems. So you have two part of code that is running, you don't know anything about it, or very few, and one which is open source. Yeah, and these is the, can say, cons, pro and cons of the 3 of this way of doing that alternative. Fair trade and sustainability costs more money. And you say, okay, it's fine, because fairness and ecological footprint is important, and I'm keen to pay for it. Unfortunately, is having more costly than refurbishment, recycling. So it's a good starting point, but not the only one. Again, when you have no military, high security in your system, your user experience is dramatically worse, because compared to other systems. Google is a cloud company, is app company, is Android company. If you remove all of this, you have to manage yourself the cloud. And here you can choose many. Which one? Nextcloud, that is here, allow you to manage your own cloud, but you have to manage your own cryptography as well, in communication, like a VPN, and in storage. Because I can trust the company, but maybe employee is not such a good person for many reasons. Reasonable, no? You know, how many people is involved, and more higher is the probability that one of them fail in something, or error, or corruption, whatever. And this happens also in mechanical system, many parts, many potential error, or failure. On the other side, you may choose something like Proton. You say in Switzerland, CERN, blah, 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 blah. But the most important thing is their core business is privacy. So if they fail on that, they fail completely, because you don't trust it anymore. And more or less, these are, can say, the two sides of the bar. Those who say, privacy is my core business, if I fail here, I fail everything. And those say, I give you maximum flexibility, and then you have to manage it by yourself. You lost your cryptographic key. Hello, data, goodbye. So there is pro and cons. And again, when you get out to mainstream, a lot of possibility happens, but you have to manage it. So it's a huge challenge. The state of art, it's gone. State art is quite bad, the best hardware supported, first of all, is no open source.
Really sorry, but the time is up. We have a tight schedule, and we have to respect the times.
Okay, well, fine. It's fine for me, no problem.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Really interesting.